Greetings to all of our YouTube subscribers and friends. Welcome to episode number 101 of If This Car Could Talk. We're so glad you joined us today, and this week's feature car is a special one indeed. You probably remember that awesome 1960 Dodge Dart Seneca that belongs to Rick Horowitz that we showcased for you in episode 90. Today, Rick will explain all the details on his home-built tribute 1970 Dodge Dart Hot Rod. You'll love this car. Nothing subtle about it. It's pure American muscle, that's for sure. So sit back and enjoy today's feature, and be sure to give the video the thumbs up and share it with everyone you know. Please feel free to leave a comment about this car or anything else that's on your mind. We always appreciate your comments and read every one of them. So without any further delay, here's Rick. Now let's go for a ride.
My name is Rick Horowitz, and my car is a 1970 Dodge Dart. My original Dodge Dart was a 1972 Dart Swinger that I got when I was 16 from my grandmother. That car came from Grand Spalding Dodge. My grandparents lived on Spalding in Chicago. After about a year with that car, I turned it into a 13-second bracket racer, and by the time I moved to Arizona in 1984, it was running 11s with nitrous. The original car, the 1972, I blew the engine after only 3 months of living in Arizona, and that was the end of my career of racing for 2 decades. When I moved into this home in Whitman, I moved here so we could be close to the Speed World drag strip, and I started the project of the 1970 Dart. I wanted to build the car the way I would have built it as a kid. I wanted it to be a 10-second runner with high compression and make all the right sounds. So I had 13.5 to 1 compression, mechanical roller cam, and to limit myself to the 10-second range, I kept the cylinder head small, and I was using the 440 stealth heads. After Speed World closed in 2012, the car sat for 8 years, and I began to work on the car as a street car project. So the engine came out, I lowered the compression to 10.5 to 1, but put on larger cylinder heads using Max Wedge Port Trick Flow 270s, still with a large mechanical cam, Milodon gear drive, and it still makes all the right sounds. So I'm happy with that. And the car has a 727 transmission with a 5200 stall converter. The transmission is by CRT. It also has a gear vendor's overdrive unit and a strange S60 rear axle with 373 gears and a spool, forged axles as well. Running 295 6515 drag radials, and the wheels are Centerline Warriors front and rear. The car was painted in my garage. The car was taken down to bare metal, built a rotisserie for it. The whole process took about 3 years. The color of the car is 1996 Viper Red. It was done in PPG paint. The interior of the car is bare bones, just featuring a 12-point roll cage, race pack gauge cluster, and a Switch Pro switch panel. Kept the stock dash pad, and the door panels are aluminum. Seats are aluminum, and using a Hurst shifter. The car was finally finished and ready for the drag strip on 10/10/10. The car number that day was 01. It was binary day. The race number for the car from the NHRA, it came to me as R762. And when I first saw the number, I thought it was a combination of my first name and my birth date. And R for Rick, 7 for the 7th day of March, and 62 for the year that I was born. Well, I found out that that was just a random number, which made me feel pretty good because it felt like that my grandmother was watching over and maybe had something to do with that. and I really enjoyed that that there was a meaning to that number. The car was running 1070s the first day I brought it out, so it was also running 10s on the 10-10-10. All worked out very well. Although the car looks just like a 1970 Dodge Dart right now, it's actually titled as a 1973 Plymouth, because the main body portion of the car is a Plymouth Scamp. And I found a really nice solid Plymouth Scamp that had no trim parts and no glass on it at all. And I also had a 1970 Dart that had terrible body panels. It needed all 4 floor pans, but it had good trim and glass. So I combined the 2 cars and created the car that I wanted, which was the 1970 Dart. It just has a Plymouth VIN tag on it. Favorite part about the car is the memories that I have. Even though it's not the same car that I had as a kid, it sure reminds me of it. It reminds me of the memories I had working on the car as a kid. Reminded me of the memories I had of dating my wife in that car. I've known her as long as I've been driving. So lots of great memories wrapped up in a 1972 Dodge Dart that I ended up building a 1970 Dart as a tribute to that car.
Thanks, Rick, for generously sharing your car with our YouTube family today. This is an incredible muscle car and should get a lot of thumbs up from our viewers. As always, thanks for tuning in and for your support. We really appreciate it. Next Sunday, please join us for a feature on a 1970 Chevy C10 that's been in the same family since new. You won't want to miss it. Until then, remember, please be careful out there.